Hey everyone, welcome to a quick Teal Town Live here. We had some, I guess, big news today. Rick Westhead blew up social media and everybody who loves hockey jerseys with a tweet about how Adidas is now involved in a class action lawsuit. And the reason why I'm here is that it looks like little old me might have had something to do with it. So let's get into it. I strange things happen from time to time. That's all I can tell you, and this happens to be one of those days. So Rick Westhead put out a tweet that said Adidas is being sued in Florida for marketing authentic, air quotes, authentic NHL team jerseys that are more accurately described as replicas, different from those worn by NHL players. The lawsuit alleges jerseys are sold via Fanatics and other third-party vendors, court docs say. Well, I mean, all we have to do is go onto any of these websites and we can see that that is in fact the case. So, excuse me, evidently this all started perhaps with this article. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the images that are used in the court documents, a lot of them were taken by me. So, okay then. And if you look at the court documents, some of the things that were mentioned in there, particularly the size of the neck hole, which we'll get to, why that is in there, I have no idea why, but that's what it is. But evidently I've started this whole brouhaha. But I want to clarify some things because even the hockey guy did a video on this a little bit ago. My thing is, yes, would I like MICs, the legit, the ones that players actually wear? Would I like these available at retail? Absolutely. Now, I understand that from a profit perspective, it would cost too much. There's not enough of an audience for it. I completely concede that point. Absolutely. And slowly but surely, you have some teams, Dallas, for example, you can go to Hanger Hockey and you can buy team issued jerseys, MICs, the same ones the players wear. You can buy them direct. Thank you, Dallas. And I hope other teams, there might be some others that I'm unaware of, but I hope other teams follow suit. But if we go back to a second, you'll have to forgive me because I put this together rather quickly. But if you go back to it, the crux of my article is I want Adidas to stop calling what they sell at retail authentic. Now, you can have the debate, well, it is an authentic jersey. It's just not an authentic game-worn jersey or an authentic team-issued jersey or whatever vernacular you want to use. The point stands, though, when you use the word authentic, it's very vague and misleading, and it leads people to think that they might be getting more than what they are actually getting. You get on Reddit, some social media channels, I've seen story after story of people that were just becoming NHL fans, just getting into collecting jerseys, and they felt duped. They're like, wait a minute, what I bought, they said authentic. I thought that meant that's what the players wear. It's a very ambiguous term, unfortunately, and Adidas has really done nothing in the way to clarify any of that. And I want to go over a few things, if you'll, I don't want to say encourage me, but if you'll allow, let's start with a few things. We can look at the my little screen cap here, but let's move on. Right here it says Sharks home authentic jersey. Now, if you look at that description, it doesn't say anything to lead anybody to think that it is a replica, nor does it lead anybody to think that it may be what the players wear on ice. It's fine. No problems with that. But, okay, we'll get out of that one. Have a look at this. This is on the Adidas website. And again, you'll have to forgive me because I'm trying to get through all of these and I wasn't able to format everything properly. But if you take a look at this screen cap, the jersey on the left says Home Authentic Jersey. The one on the right says Home Authentic Pro Jersey. What's the difference? There isn't one. Same jersey, same cut, but for some reason one is called Authentic, one's called Pro. Again, misleading. If I'm able to move this image whatsoever, which I might not be able to, but here we go. Same for the Oilers. We have Home, but then we have Authentic Pro. What does that mean? So let's look at the Oilers jersey. It says, the fabric is the same as the players wear. Is that not misleading when you use the phrase same as the players wear? Maybe that's just me, but I feel like that's, again, misleading. We get to this Lightning one. Now, you can also take a chuckle in the fact that these descriptions may be a scotch outdated, as it says, as the Lightning try to put together back-to-back Stanley Cup wins. I think they already did that a little while ago. But you'll also notice that the description says, mirror image of what the players wear. Again, not saying that it's exactly what they wear, but when you look at a mirror, I think you understand what I'm saying. Again, we go back to the Sharks one. Nothing about a mirror image or what the players wear. Nothing about that. But again, here's another one where it's Authentic Jersey, and then bottom left you have Authentic Pro Jersey. Seems, again, misleading. Now, here are some differences. This one was sent to me earlier today, where you can see the kit on the left, which is a quote-unquote authentic. You can see that sheen that the numbers have. You can also see that the white layer, it's not stitched. They don't even kind of like put in something like some sort of a photographic layer to make it even appear stitched. And it also has that real shiny sheen because it's not tackle twill. It's a very cheap vinyl. So that's how they do. If you're going to get a quote-unquote authentic, a retail Adidas jersey, your best bet, if you want it to be, some people are fine with the vinyl kits. Hey, more power to you. But if you want something a little nicer, I would recommend you get it stitched, done professionally with tackle twill, double stitched. It's very nice. Here's a Burns one, and you can see the cheap vinyl kit, and you see that should be 2 layers. And you can see the bottom layer is in fact stitched because this is all 1 layer. That's just white printed on teal. So why bother putting in another line of stitching, right? And here's some more comparison photos. Adidas versus, what on this one, obviously Climalite. But if I'm able to move this image, which maybe I'm not able to, let's try again. You can see just, look underneath the black collar, where on the top one it says Climalite. On the bottom you can see that extra stitching, that pro stitching for the Adidas logo on the back. Then we go into other versions where if you look at the jersey on the left, that's what's known as a reverse kiss cut, which I've recently found out about. I wasn't aware of that. So you have the white layer is actually underneath the red layer versus the jersey on the right where you have the white layer on top of the red layer. It's the little things, people. We love these details. You can see, great example of the difference in dimples. The jersey in the background, obviously the made in Canada, the version that the players wear versus the one in the foreground, which is the quote-unquote authentic Adidas. But also take note of the stitching of the shoulder patch. How much nicer is the stitching on the shoulder of the actual MIC jersey? Here's another example. See, this is what happens. Again, hang with me, people. I'll get there. But you look at this Kako. I mean, it's so obvious that the top one is an Adidas Authentic versus a Pro Stock one on the bottom. I mean, just look at the lettering, look at the stitching. The O is a real head turner there. And then finally, here's the back. And as I was noting, that stitching of the box that the Adidas logo is in. So there's some, some differences. And then let me move on to the models here. So on the Adidas website, this is the thing about the neck hole. I don't know about you, but I mean, let's have a look at the jersey I'm wearing. Not a lot of room for the shirt. I'm wearing a shirt underneath, but I got to pull down so you can actually see it because it fits properly. But if we go back to these models, it's like, wow, why is there so much space? And this is not for, and maybe you could say, well, the model is wearing an oversized jersey. That seems to be about what normal, I don't want to say normal, but what the average fan would wear, that style, if you're that size. Same guy. And why is it so wide on the bottom? I don't understand that as well. I've heard a lot of people complain that Adidas jerseys, the quote-unquote authentics that they buy in the store, fit like dresses. They flare out at the bottom, and they don't understand why. Here's another, St. Louis Blues. Again, really big collar. And the most egregious of them all, of course, the Seattle Kraken. How big is that neck hole? Are you kidding? Now, you can look at the arms and go, okay, perhaps this gentleman is wearing a size too large. Fine, but still, yikes. And then finally this one, where you can really see the undershirt that the gentleman has on, as well as how much the jersey flares out. MICs don't fit like that. They just don't. So back to my point, which was, would I love to see MICs available at the retail level? Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of collectors that would love that. But again, I go back. I understand that it's not profitable. And that's fine. That's not what I'm asking. All I'm asking is be more transparent in your advertising. There are people that are just getting into the collection game. They're not even familiar with Reebok and Coho and CCM and all that. They haven't, done the deep dive. But it sucks to see new fans get duped. I was duped back in the day. I went, I was so used to, I was conditioned. If you went into the store prior to 2007, I'm an old school fan, man. My first jersey that I ever bought was at the Valco Fashion Center Mall, which was scraped, I think, about a year ago, but hasn't had a store in there in, I don't know, 5-6 years. But they used to have a authentic licensed Shark store there, and they sold authentic jerseys. They sold replica jerseys. You could order them so they would have the name and number on the back, and it was all done same as the pros. The tackle twill done by the same group. And when I got those, it was chef's kiss. And when you went there, that was it. It was replica. It was authentic. There was no third option. And then for whatever reason, Reebok comes along and says, let's make replica, then let's make authentic, and then we'll have pro stock. And when I saw the neon green collar of the Reebok Authentic, and I went, and it had the nice patches on the shoulder, these really nice quality ones versus the plastic. The plastic ones on the $150 Reeboks, or you can get the ones with the neon collar for $300 that had the really nice stitched patches. It felt better. It felt heavier duty. And I'm like, oh, okay, this must be pro stock. This must be what the players wear for this price point, and for the difference in quality to be that vast. This must be what the players wear. Come to find out, it wasn't. The little high sign, made in Indonesia. Unfortunately, that's not it. So that's where we are now. I just want Adidas to just be more transparent. Call it something, not authentic or call it an authentic replica, something. But just to give you a little more idea, it's here, this is team issued. This is a gamer that Shimmick wore. And you can see all the detail in here. That tackle twill, well stitched, the double layers, all of these things. I'm afraid if I get too close, it might get a little blurry on the camera, and it has that nice heavy duty feel. And when you feel it, you can feel the twill versus and I know people that know me are going to go, why in the world do you have a Carlson jersey? And the reason being, you'll see I stripped the front of it. That's the only reason. Got it for like $20. I only wanted the crest. But this is plastic vinyl and the letters as well. It's horrible. I mean, it really the difference is literally night and day. Now, that's not if people love the Indo ones and that's what they're more comfortable in, or the Fanatics, I'm not dumping on you. I'm not dumping on any of that. I'm just saying for the other crowd, the crowd that would prefer to have MICs, it would be nice. Again, Adidas probably never going to do it. That's fine. That's what team sales, equipment sales are for, or hanger hockey. But stop calling it authentic. It just isn't. It's misleading. So that's kind of my say on this. My Twitter kind of blew up because, again, I guess I don't know who the person filing this lawsuit is. I just know a few people caught wind of it, and then my social media started blowing up saying, hey, dude, aren't these your photos? Isn't this from the article that you put? And I was like, well, evidently so. So it is what it is. I'm sure there was a couple other points that I had in my mind before I started this, but I just wanted to clear it up. Like my push is not to have MICs available. That wasn't it. It was just the fact of let's stop calling these authentic because yes, it's a licensed jersey. It's a quote unquote authentic because Adidas made it and blah, blah, blah. But at the very least, you can't call something authentic really when like the cut and the fit is so radically different. This neck hole fits the way it's supposed to. The arm length fits the way it's supposed to. If I put on one of these, it's going to fit like this versus like this. It just and why do the bottoms flare out so much? I hear that's one of the biggest complaints I hear. So anyway, if there are any comments in the chat or any questions, maybe you can remind me of something else that I was going to bring up. But I see the Grease saying that, yeah, 100% misleading to call them authentic. I completely agree with you. Could not agree more. Richard saying, I knew there was something up with the collar sizes. I'll tell you, the first time I ever put on an Adidas when I was in the Shark store, I put it on. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, why is this like I could drive a truck through this neck hole? Why is this so wide? And what's funny is if you look at the marketing materials for Adidas, more than half their models, in fact, we looked at it the other day for the reverse retro program, 31 jerseys, 20 of the models are all wearing hoodies underneath it. Like almost, I don't know, maybe trying to hide the fact that the neck holes are so ridiculously huge. I don't know. But interesting. It's one of the little things you can tell. But yeah, the collar size, I will say it's gotten better as they've gone from Climalite to Aero Ready to Prime Green. The fit has gotten to be a little bit more closer to what the players wear. But boy, when they started, not even close. But again, the other thing is when you put on an MIC versus an Indonesian, it's night and day. It's like a difference between putting on a T-shirt and a sweatshirt. The weight, the feel of it, it's very different. Let's see. Robbie saying the Sharks use the Indos for jerseys off their backs. Really? Wow. Wow. I don't think that's a cool thing. I was not aware of that. Wow. Calling them authentics makes you assume that the only Fanatics are, only the Fanatics are replicas. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. And I think most people would have to go, well, there was a difference in price point. When I said earlier, when Reebok was running both, you had Reebok doing both replicas and authentics, but it was $150 for a replica, $300 for an authentic. And then the whole Adidas Fanatics things happened, and all of a sudden it's Fanatics are $130 and Adidas are $180. You're kind of going, well, how did they come down so much? Well, because they're putting out a vastly inferior product to what the Reebok quote-unquote authentics were. It is what it is, and most people are saying that this is a frivolous lawsuit. I would agree. For the most part, I would agree. And a lot of people are burning Fanatics down in effigy going, yeah, Fanatics needs to die. While I share that sentiment, that's not what the article was about. That's not what this lawsuit is about. It doesn't have anything to do with Fanatics. It's all about, can we get MICs at retail? But that was the kind of the backstory. It was, let's change this name because it's misleading. It's almost, I mean, I don't want to say it's purposely deceptive. We don't know what's going on in the Adidas boardrooms. Maybe they are. But I'm telling you right now, I've purchased, in fact, I think we did a show about it. I'll try to put where does it go up there? I'll try to put a link to it. We actually did an unboxing where we previously, during the COVID time, when everything was kind of shut down, Puck Guy and I did a whole series of articles about new jersey designs, things we thought might be cool. And then lo and behold, 7-8 months later, Jerk was doing a image search for something and said, whoa, dude, somebody's selling your jerseys. And yes, it's one of those fake places out of China. But for the giggles, we ordered a couple of them just to see how close they would be. It would be cool to see the designs that we made, like, in real life, although they were nowhere near but I have to be honest. I will tell you, a couple of those jerseys, they were the Adidas ones look closer, much closer to the $30 knockoff from China than, the jersey it's supposed to be compared to. It's much closer, particularly the dimples. So, anyway, with that, I just wanted to state my piece on this whole thing because, again, Hockey Guy's great, but I felt like he missed the mark on some certain points because, again, he seemed to dwell a lot on the whole selling MICs at retail, and that wasn't the point. It just comes down to, just call them prime green jerseys. So here's the Adidas prime green NHL jersey. That's what they're marketing it as anyway, right? And that's what I think is so funny. If we go back to those descriptions, if I can pull them up and not ruin anything, well, we'll find out. Yeah, right there in the description. Do you see anything that says prime green? I don't. I see Authentic Pro, Home Authentic, Authentic Pro. So what is somebody to take who is brand new to the jersey game? What are they supposed to glean from that? Feels like it would probably be this must be what the players wear. So all the love in the world to the Hockey Guy, but I just wanted to clarify that. If you have any questions or if you have a take on it, if you look at it from a different perspective and that I'm not considering, by all means, put it in the comments section below this video. I would appreciate that. While you're here, subscribe, please. Help us out. We go live after every single Sharks game if you're into that. And we do a weekly wrap-up show, and sometimes we do weird live stuff like this right now. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. And I think that's it. Again, any comments that I see that are worthwhile and don't try to burn me in effigy, I will absolutely respond to. Other than that, I thank you for joining. And Rick Westhead broke this. We'll see what comes of it. To be honest, I don't, there's a lot of fans that on Reddit that were talking about like, well, hell, I bought all these Indo jerseys. Does that mean I'm going to get a nice fat payout, or can I get paid out in jerseys or whatever? I don't think it's going to come to anything remotely close to that. If anything, and I think it is probably the most positive that can come from this, change the name. Be more transparent in your advertising. Very deceptive to call something authentic. In fact, let me throw this out before I leave for the people that are not with me live but are watching this on a delay. Let me ask you this question. Leave your comment below. Can you provide an example? Because I literally could not think of one. Can you provide an example of another company that sells like the pro version and then like another version they call authentic? I'm not talking about like an iPhone and the iPhone Pro, though that's different. But something that is like the actual, genuine, real McCoy, what the guys wear on ice, and then they do like a slightly substandard version of that. I would love to know if somebody can bring me an analogy, something that really drives the point home, because I'm maybe just losing my mind, and I'm going. My head's been spinning. I can't think of any other company who does something like this. So if you can, please leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for joining me. Sorry to waste your time, but hey, it's not like there was a Vegas game to watch, right? We will catch you all for the next episode of After Dark and the next Pucknologist. Thanks for joining, everybody.